Gladiator sandals being fashionable only for women. Working all of the hours of the day you want to be outside, to pay the bills for a car you only really use to get to work, and a house/flat you mainly use for sleeping and preparing food. That and the weekend. Capitalism. The goal of a person living in a capitalistic society is to make a profit. A profit is to steal money from others in whatever way possible. Teddy bears. Basically the outer skin of sheep tied together to make something that apparently comforts you. The Santa Claus is coming to town song. Think about it. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. Sounds to me like Santa needs a restraining order or mayo. If you had poop anywhere else on your body, would you be content just wiping the spot down with dry tissue paper? My boss jokes about her drinking all the time, going too far as to say she's an alcoholic at least 3 times a week. If she said this about any other drug she would be fired immediately. I mean, can you imagine coming into work and joking about how much heroin you injected last night, or, God forbid, how much pot you smoked? You'd be unemployed in an instant, but alcohol is socially acceptable so it's okay. Commercials when paying for cable. You are paying for their service, but they still monetize by interrupting the service you pay for to show you advertisements. I walked into an animal shelter, separated my cat from her sister, and keep her prisoner in my home. She doesn't interact with her species, and has to wait for us to feed her or give her water. I have no idea if she is bored, wants a bath, wants to explore the world, or wants to try a new brand of food. We tried taking her outside and she freaked out. We tried introducing her to another kitten and she freaked out. I have no idea what she is thinking, yet I'm trying every day to make her happy. Part-time food service employees do not get paid sick time and are often threatened with loss of employment if they call out sick. This is fucked up on a human level, but even more so on a practical level. They handle your food. This is how illnesses are spread so quickly. Without getting too political, factory farmed meat. I'm a meat eater, but it's hard to reconcile my personal morals with the fact that these poor animals are kept in cages and generally treated like shit for their entire lives, only to end up on my plate. America is more afraid of exposing their children to women's nipples than extreme violence. Precipitation. It's purified water that has been drunk and urinated by various other animals and is being rained back on your head. The fact that when someone is going through tough times, a person's usual response is it's not that bad, or stop being a bitch, when that same person most likely has no idea what it's like to go through what the other person currently is. It doesn't help the person to feel better. To other people, it probably just makes you look like you don't care about helping and only want to worsen the pain. What if Mike Wazowski grew a beard? It would basically be the same thing as his pubes. Dancing. You're throwing your body around while listening to music. Death. You are born in this world to die. What happens after or before is up for discussion, as humankind doesn't know, but that's it. Life is surprisingly short when you compare it to a possible eternity, and people push off death as if it's only in video games, as the thought of not existing in the world is unreal, unheard of. And yet here we are, with people's personalities lost to the grim reality that we all die. Walk around in a bikini and it is completely normal. The equivalent to a bikini is a pair of underwear and a bra. No difference, is there? Walk around in those and people will despise you. Swimsuits are basically a way for people to look at others without being despised or shamed for their lewd acts of staring. Graveyards. They are just large fields covered with stone markings of where a corpse is, even centuries after it's gotten buried. Liking things on Facebook. It's just a thing people do to show approval without having to waste time with words or interact too much with other people, and in those very popular pages it doesn't even matter so much. You're just one more number in a sea of likes. Other people don't even see you liked something in those pages most of the time. We mostly do it for ourselves, and yet we still think it's absolutely necessary to hit the like button if we approve of something. Surgery. Oh, something's wrong inside? Knock him out, cut him open, fix it, sew it shut, and hope they wake up later. Perfectly normal, right? We drink other animals' milk and eat eggs. Public male toilets. I'm a woman, but I know urinals aren't isolated there. But when men need to defecate, they are. It's like, other men can see you hold your tool and piss, but goddamn they cannot see you sit on a toilet and take a dump. Dictionaries. How did people get to come up with all these words and then meanings for them? You can't infinitely define a word. For example, the word furious. The definition is angry. Definition of angry? Mad. Definition of mad, etc. etc. Also, how did people know how to spell words? And why do people just use those specific sounds? And multilingual people, they know thousands upon thousands of different sounds that all mean different things. Santa Claus, a fat white bearded man that lives in the North Pole, who then proceeds to slide down your chimney, drinks some alcohol/milk, eats a mince pie, drops some gifts, then repeats millions of times each year. Commuting over an hour to a 45+ hour per week job, 71% of your life is devoted to work/travel to work/sleep, assuming 8 hours per night, 29% of your time to keep the rest of your shit together, cook, socialize, relax, work out and other interests. That's before overtime and traffic, and including weekends. God help you if you have kids. Absolute lunacy if you ask me. The now part of the weather report. Just look outside. We use dead things to fuel things to keep us alive. The fact that it costs more than a penny to make a penny. People buy cigarettes to feel better even though they do no good to your organism and contain chemicals that mess up our brain in a way that it becomes addicted to it. And to go through all of that you first have to get used to a taste that's anything but pleasing. Humans are messed up in many ways, but the one that strikes me the most is that we are destroying the environment and there are ways to fix this issue yet companies refuse to do it because of money. Fucking money. The global temperature is rising. Species are going extinct. We are destroying the earth, but my money is more important. Too bad it isn't going to do you any good when everything is dying. You can't bribe the earth to stop dying, especially when you're the one killing it. Money. Money only has value because everyone agrees it does. If people just decided to stop using money and to instead trade for everything, money would lose all value. Plus, money has to be made out of material. So, making money costs money. Guns. Like, the people who thought of that idea are kinda fucked up. It's just like, hey, swords aren't killing things easy enough. Let's make a long-range weapon that can kill anything in a blink of an eye. Celebrities meeting fans. Random strangers are hugging somebody they are in love with that they haven't even met. That there is a part of your body that you're not supposed to touch. Imagine if it was our hands that we couldn't touch in public. Clothes. Why do animals and insects get to be naked all the time, and we have to wear clothes? Don't punish nudists, they are going all natural. Stuffing turkeys. We murder a bird that isn't a predator to us, cook it as a symbol of unity on a special day, then ram some random stuff up its ass and proceed to feast on it. Having to pay for an education. School. Kids of all ages who don't know each other are forced to pile into a building, where an adult who they don't know will tell them some things that may be useful in life, and a bunch of other random shit. Each child is supposed to do this for the first 18 years of their life, and no one questions whether this is a good idea. The fact that we all walk around with a load of shit inside us. That there's a giant thing in the sky that we are just not supposed to look at. Car crashes. Every day there are hundreds of people who had the possibility of dying. Education. The fact that 50% of the things learned in school don't lead anywhere in the future. We send kids to school to learn facts and memorize dates that they'll rarely use after they graduate. Kissing. You touch lips or cheeks with your own lips to another person. That bread is actually alive when you cook it. Makeup. It shows how humans put on these weird powders and sticks because we aren't comfortable with our own faces. Zoos. We recapture wild animals and shut them in cages for our own pleasurable viewing, knowing full well this is torture to them. This is basically imprisoning an animal for life because it's an animal of interest. Twitch. Twitch allows you to silently watch some random person you don't know. You can just show up and watch without them ever knowing you are there. You could bookmark the web page and watch them for months, learn loads about them, who they are, what they look like, and they would never know you had been there at all. The modern school system. It's like a machine, an unrelenting, unstoppable machine that hands out standardized tests and homework that just causes the people under its control stress and time away from their families and loved ones. How many times have you had to refuse to go to a party or just chill out with your family because you had to get right to work? The entire system is taking away the original sense of childlike wonder and learning, and it seems to just be training people to have office jobs, treating everyone the same, as a mindless being that could sometimes get rewarded for good behavior, but never move up in the system. Just sit at a desk and work until break time, then get back to a meaningless drone life sitting at a desk. Lose sleep due to homework, rinse and repeat. Next episode's question is, what crappy tips would be in life's loading screens? You can submit your answer using the link below.